Hey everybody, AZ Badfish here, and welcome back to the Craftinomical SMP. I think I'm gonna start making videos from here again. I'm doing a lot of streaming from this server, but lately my streaming schedule has been all out of whack. In fact, I haven't been doing it at all. I could talk a little bit about that, but I don't want to bore you guys with that type of stuff. Let's just say that it doesn't really fit in with my schedule at the moment. So I'm gonna come back to making videos because I miss playing on this server, and it's been a long time since I've been here. A couple weeks, as a matter of fact. So today, I kind of want to get a feel for what's going on. Maybe do a few little repairs around the base. So what we've got going on out here, I can't remember the last streaming update video I put out, but this is my Betania section. I'm going to leave this for now. I'm not touching it. There's some problems with it, mainly that these are still not hooked up to my RS system, so that it's not automated at all. I still have to come in here and manually put coal into these. And apparently this isn't the best setup. I didn't realize the range on these endo flames. So for instance, you know, if I put coal in here, some of these endo flames could pick it up rather than the ones right nearby. And that's kind of a problem. It's not the end of the world, but I don't necessarily like that. I'd like to make it all automated and stuff. And as you can see, this one's empty because it's been piping into here. And that is empty because it's been creating petals for me, flowers and stuff. So I've got all these petals here so I can make dyes of any kind whenever I want. So that is pretty sweet. And all that's pretty much good to go. But we're going to leave that for now. I'm not going to do that now. That's probably another episode. I need to get with Naragath to help me out with the programming for the OPIC computers, which is what I want to use for that. Since the last update video, I think I have come in here and I've now got Dru Konak fusion crafting set up, and these are all draconic tier. I've got a little energy infuser here. This is all set up, good to go. I've got draconic armor on, so that's all nice. I've got draconic sword. I've got draconic bow, which, why isn't this thing charging? It is charging, just very slowly. Interesting. You know what, let's drop this on the charger. In case you guys haven't seen this, this is pretty nuts how fast this thing will charge stuff. Bam, done already. Love it. I love it. So that's going on. We've got that going on. Here's a problem that I've been running into, though. So I've got this void ore miner. This is just a tier 2, nothing crazy, but this is completely backed up. Completely backed up. Right, and the reason for that is that these machines are all backed up, and they're all backed up with uranium, and that is because this is all backed up. This is full, and that's kind of a problem, right? Like I can't be having I can't be having this problem. So I kind of know what I want to do for this, and it's going to involve a couple of drawers. And that's pretty much it. So basically what I've been doing is pulling all of the cyanite, which is what this stuff is, out of here and putting it into here and then crafting it into plutonium. But as you can see, this is filled up. This is filled up. We're all the way backed up. And that's because it doesn't have anywhere to put it because this is full. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is just rather than crafting all this stuff into plutonium, because I don't really need it. This is producing, obviously, enough uranium to keep my reactor going well beyond what I'm able to use at the moment. So I think instead of crafting it all into plutonium, I'm going to put the plutonium in my RS storage and then just get a couple of drawers here, and I'm going to set that up off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright, something like this works a little bit better. So I've now just got my access port that's on outlet mode. It's just porting all the items into here, and for both of these I've got full emerald upgrades and a void upgrade so that we're never going to get backed up again. We could store a whole bunch of stuff. What is it? 64 or 192 stacks, I think. Yeah, So we've got we can store a lot of stuff in here, a lot, and that's good because this is slowly now starting to work its way out. And of course, at the same time, I'm also producing more, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, so this is now pulling out of the drawer, so we're good to go. We're good to go here. And yeah, as soon as I did that, these machines kicked back on again. So now all of these are working. Of course, I've got uranium ore in there as well, so we're going to go through a lot of uranium. Hopefully that, well, I mean, it might back up a little bit, but I should be okay in the long run with just standard pipes and servos, because you know we're not gonna be passing tons of stuff. If I really feel like I need to, I can upgrade the servos to move items faster, but it's not really necessary. It's not really necessary. So some other issues that I'm having, and I come down here. This is my auto crafting area. Go down one more, and we get to the bee laboratory. This area has been giving me quite a lot of problems in that my queens are constantly disappearing. I don't understand why that's happening. It's like the queens just do not produce a princess when they're done. Instead of producing a princess and a drone that will combine into a new queen, they only produce one drone, which, as far as I know, is not a thing that should happen. The fertility rate, if we look at our templates here, the fertility 1, you can see they're kind of near the bottom of the list. That refers to the number of drones they produce and doesn't have any effect on the princess. So why these queens are not giving me a princess, I have no idea. If anybody else knows, please let me know, because this is how I'm getting my ender pearls, my redstone, and I was trying to get uranium from here, but as we can see, I've kind of given up on that, and I've gone back to my green laser lens, which is how I'm getting so much uranium from the void ore miner. So that aside, those are some issues that I'm having that I would like to eventually figure out, but that is, I think, all I'm going to really do in the base today, probably. I want to get out. If you guys have been following this series and some of the other members, which you definitely should, make sure you go check out my the description. I've got a lot of stuff in there. Ah, nice. Somebody did set up a what do you call this? Celestial gateway. So there is a celestial gateway out in Craftinomical, which I think is a great name. So if you've been following the series from other people, you know that we've now got a big community area set up, and it's basically a big city. We're looking at like building a big modern city out here. So let's go and check this place out. Give that a second to load, and wow. I don't really want to spoil anything because I know people are working on stuff, but I just saw a Super Turtle video about this area, so I kind of know he's already kind of spoiled stuff. So this is Betania and Ocean Phoenix. We're working on this, the town hall that is to be. We've got several other towers going up, skyscrapers, if you will. I think that's the, I think this is Butchers. I think this is Naragaths. I think this is Turtles. I'd like to just kind of swing around and see what all areas there are. I know they've kind of got some other plots set up. I don't see any signs or anything, though, in these empty ones. I don't want to build a skyscraper. At least not today. That's not what I'm after. I kind of want to look and see if we can build like a downtown area, you know, with like smaller buildings, stuff like that, because what I want to build, oh my goodness, stop signs. Somebody chisels and bits did that is really cool. I don't know who did that, but props to you. That is awesome. Future home of Mishmash Manor, which if you didn't know, which you should know, Mishmash is a new member on the server. It's pretty cool. Go check him out. Ocean's one, that is pretty neat. What is over here? This is like a whole, oh, materials, cool, like for community building stuff, I guess. Man, I gotta say, I also love the power lines. I really don't know who did what. I know people have been working in streams, people have been doing videos and stuff. I've watched all the videos, haven't been able to catch many streams lately. Kind of along the same lines as why I haven't been streaming myself. Just not having the time, and really my priorities are a little different now than they were. But this is cool. I'm guessing somebody said something about a power station, maybe? I don't know. That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. It looks like we are creating blocks for the block palette here, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Oh, wait. This was a squid farm. I think they must have taken it down. They had a squid spawner up in the sky, and it was just dropping squids and picking up the ink sacs and whatnot. It looks like we've got plenty now. All right, so I think what I need to do is find an area to call my own. So maybe I will swing on through here and see what I can find. Whoops, not that button. All right, so I flew around, and we're kind of on the edge here, and I've decided to go for this spot right here. Now, this was not a plot that was laid out already, so I went ahead and laid it out. It's a 20 by 20, just like all the other plots. It's directly across from this one, so we got some symmetry. And I wanted this one specifically because it was next to the water. I think that would be pretty neat to maybe have a boardwalk or something go around the side. But, so, what I'm going to be building is a fish and chip shop. I really like fish and chips. It's one of my favorite things to eat. I can't ever get it where I'm at, so whenever I find it, I tend to get it. But there's a lot actually that goes into this fish and chips, and I've been kind of thinking about how I want to do it. So if we look at it, it's this guy. We're gonna need fries, which is pretty simple. It's just potatoes and salt. The fish sticks is a little bit more complicated. We're going to need raw fish, which isn't too bad. But the batter, it takes wheat and eggs. And those are going to require a bit of doing. So I've been kind of thinking about how I want to do it. And I've decided that I want to try the Immersive Engineering garden cloches, I think is how you say it. Videografia's got a setup that I went and scoped out just to see kind of exactly what I would need. So we're going to do that to grow wheat and potatoes that we're going to need. I can set up a resources fisher from industrial foregoing to hopefully get the raw fish that we need. I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to work out for us. I might end up pulling up a bunch of junk, and because there's so many different types of fish that this thing can probably pull out, yeah, it could get messy, so we're going to have to mess with it. But the batter, of course, and then eggs. Eggs is probably the most complicated setup that we're going to do. I mean, I could just set up like a little chicken farm somewhere, but I don't want to have the sounds of chickens in my fish and chips shop. And I want to kind of keep everything local here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to base. We can maybe do that together. We're going to head back to base and then start working on the immersive engineering stuff I need to actually craft up all of that stuff. Like, it's a little bit more in depth into immersive engineering than I've ever been before. Not that it's necessarily going to be difficult or anything like that, but I do want to make sure that I've got all the stuff I need. So if we kind of look at actually what I'm going for real quick, if we look at the garden cloche, I need this iron mechanical component as well as treated wood planks and vacuum tubes, and then just glass, right? So the vacuum tubes are created on an engineer's workbench, so we're going to need one of those. And copper wires and stuff requires copper and presses and stuff. All that I can make pretty easily. But these iron things, I guess I could just make in a crafting table, which is nice. And treated wood planks. I need, how do I make those? Let's see. Chisel, no, fluid infuser. Ooh, creosote oil into this. Wait, is there not a way to do this with actual immersive engineering? That's kind of odd. Okay, how do I get creosote oil? A squeezer from forestry. Here's one from immersive engineering. Magma crucible with tar. How do I get that? From oil sand. Interesting. Alright, I'm going to mess around with this stuff a little bit, and I'll come back to you once I have a better idea of how I'm going to do all this stuff. Well, it turns out I have a bunch of oil sand, I'm guessing from my void ore miner. So we're going to pull this out. I've got 2 auxiliary sieve augments in this pulverizer, and this should get us some tar from every single piece. Hopefully that's enough. So I'm going to let this run for a bit, and then I'll throw all of these in a magma crucible and see what we can do. So after pulverizing all of that that whole stack of oil sand, I've got enough creosote oil for 4 buckets, and yeah, and a little bit of tar left over. So actually I need to, what's going on here? This should be oranges out. Oh, there's stuff in here. I wish there was an easier way to just remove this stuff, but if I just break it, yeah. Let's see if I have a tank of some kind or a reservoir. I thought I had one. Is it maybe in my bag? Maybe I'm just blind, but I'm not seeing it. So let's make, oh wait, what is this? What does this have in it? Destabilized redstone. Perfect. So we'll put you in there. Get rid of that stuff. Okay, good. So now I could put my buckets in here, and we'll get our buckets of creosote oil. And yeah, I think that should be enough to make like half a stack of treated wood, I think. Ooh, not very much there at all. No problem. Why did that happen? That was very strange. Okay, so then I can just do this. I know I looked it up and it said I needed that machine or whatever, but this should be fine. Yeah. Put that away. This away. Don't want to do that. Cool. So half a stack of treated wood planks, which is great because now I should be able to make the what do you call it? The workbench thing? Yeah. Oh, but we need treated wood fence, which means I need treated wood sticks. So I'm already like wasting stuff, which is not great. So we'll make a little bit of fence here, which is good. I believe I should have crafting benches in here. I don't. That's unusual, but no worries. Crafting bench. That, and then that, and then these guys. Cool. I'm probably going to end up needing to make more of those. So we've got an engineer's workbench. Let me craft up now all of the stuff that we're going to need for the garden cloches. And I think I would like to have 4 of them, which means I'm going to need to make a few vacuum tubes and whatnot. So I'm going to get to work on this. Engineer's blueprint. Huh. How do I get that? Ah, a steel plate, which is steel and a forge hammer. Okay, cool. And then blue dye, I got plenty of that stuff. Or I could just use these ingots, which might be easier. Ha, I can do that. Nice. All right, so I'm going to get to work on all the stuff I need for these, and I will be back in a bit. Alright, so I've got some of the things we're going to need. Water condensator, the garden cloche, the stuff to hook it up, and a resources fisher, which I want to mess around with a little bit to see exactly how this works. But I have decided that I want to use compact machines for the eggs. So I need a few more compact machine blocks. And if I remember correctly, I just do one of these, then one of these, and then, ooh, do I have that rebound on the new computer? I do. Nice. So we just throw that on there, and it will create for us a new batch of compact machine blocks. We'll do that again, and for some reason I'm not getting any sound. That's a little strange, but and now it doesn't want to work. Okay, do I need to be like outside of it? There we go. Cool. So once I get that done, yeah. So now I've got all these blocks, and I want to actually make the machine itself now. And we're not going to make a huge one like we made for the bacon cheeseburger factory. This is going to be quite a bit smaller. I think we just go like this. I'm actually going to need... I need another iron block. And an ender pearl. Very good. You there, you and you, and then I think I just do like that. Yeah. So once that compacts all the way down, we should have the small version, which will give us a 5x5x5 room. Yeah, there we go. Now we got sound again. I had to reset my pack, and then when I came back in, my machine had disappeared. I guess it was gone for too long. Despawned? I don't know. But yeah, so this will be done in just a second, and then I want to test out how exactly this resource fisher works. Alright, there we go. Which one is this? Should be the small? Yeah. Alright, cool. So, this resource fisher. First of all, when I put this down, show me the working area. So it's underneath. Okay. So that's cool. Why is this doing this to me again? Controls, auto jump on. It turns itself on every single time I reload the pack. Okay. So I think it needs power. Alright. I guess we'll put it over here. This seems like a good spot for it. Alright, so I think that at least is in position. It does look like it needs power. Do I have anything in here? Nope. That's okay. Definitely got some in here. Let's grab a power cell and plop this guy right on top. Now we should be getting power. It's always active, and it is working. So I guess we'll just kind of see how much stuff, how many different types of things we get. Because I'm pretty sure all of these fish can be used. But man, if it's going to keep doing a random one every single time, that could get problematic for the and you get puffer fish. That could be problematic for our actual recipe. So I guess we'll kind of let this run for a bit and see how much of each type of thing we get. Alright, so we're back now, and I've been letting this run for a while, and as you can see, if you've ever built an AFK fish farm, most of this junk would be expected, but there's a ton of other types of fish in here, and you'll notice that the raw fish from vanilla Minecraft is about twice as much as all the other types, and I was sitting here thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to use all these? Am I going to use maybe just 2 or 3 of them? But actually, now that I think about it, maybe just only using the raw fish is probably all I really need to do, because I'm not going to have, nor do I really want to have, a ton of chickens producing eggs, because they're going to be inside a compact machine, and I have a bad feeling about using tons and tons of entities inside of a compact machine on the server. Oh, I thought I had one of those. I guess I can just craft one. That's cool. We'll go ahead and make one of these so we can move this storage crate. But I think that is probably all I really am going to need. So this is probably going to do us okay. Should be fine with just that. And let's go ahead and pop this in here. So I'm thinking we're probably getting close to ready to actually start setting this thing up. So let's head back out to the city and see what's up. Alright, so we're here at the plot, and I've done a little bit of work, not a lot, just dug out a hole down here, and I've created our 3x3 infinite water source so that we can put our fisher down here. What I plan on doing down here is most of the technical stuff, right? So we're going to grow our crops down here. I'm going to have the egg farm down here, which is going to be in this compact machine that we've still got to set up. And most, if not all, of the crafters to actually put together the fish and chips is all going to be down here. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting that stuff up. So we've got these 4 garden cloches here. We'll put these down, and we'll have to set up all of the things to like connect them up and everything. So I think we can just put these connectors up on top here like this. Yeah. Alright, I think I am going to get these set up, and I'll come back to you and show you what I've got going on. Well, things are looking pretty messy in here. So it's not the next day for me. I've got all the functionality in place, and I have also edited the video, so I know that I'm running way over time for what I'd like to be at. Still not a super long video, but longer than I'd like it to be. So I want to quickly go through all of this stuff and show you what we got going on. So we put down the garden cloches, and these things are just absolutely pumping out the crops here. So I've got tons of wheat, tons of potatoes. I'm doing extremely well with that, so that's not going to be a problem at all. I went ahead and set up a second resources fisher to double the amount of raw fish that I'm getting, because I noticed that for whatever reason I cannot make 2 different fish sticks recipes. Like for instance, this recipe has raw fish. I originally had 2 drawers because I was collecting 2 different types of fish. Raw perch, I think, was the other one, because you get quite a bit of those as well. But it wouldn't let you change it, right? So I would put fish sticks in this one, and then I would select a second one for fish sticks with the raw perch, but it would change both of them. So I sat there. I was actually frustrated about that last night, and I just logged out. I was like, I'll deal with it in the morning. And so this is the solution I came up with. Just double the resource fishers and double the amount of raw fish that I'm getting, and then just use 1. So that's how that's going. So I'm getting fish from the fishers, wheat and potatoes from the garden cloches. I've got water running around to this fluid transposer, which is similar, if you guys remember, my bacon cheeseburger factory, because we need salt. So that's what this is all about. Now, for each of these crafters, what I've done is I've left, well, this one is a bit of an exception because I've got 5 water bucket spaces in there, but for all these other ones, like there's only 1 slot for each ingredient, and then the rest of them is filled up with cobblestone. And with this remember button, you can basically lock these items out, so there's only going to ever be 1 stack of each of these in here, and each ingredient has a fully upgraded drawer as a buffer area. So we're never going to have an issue where I accidentally fill this up with wheat and then the thing stops working because I don't have any eggs, which is actually my bottleneck at the moment, but I'll show you that in a second. So the wheat comes across to this crafter. The wheat becomes wheat flour and then we turn the wheat, flour, and egg with the mixing bowl into the batter, which gets passed over to this guy. Our potatoes and salt, which is coming from, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Potatoes and salt, which is coming from this crafter, which is just water, a water bucket, and a pot. The pot is being passed back around, which is what this little system is all about. It's actually pretty slow, but as you can see, I've got tons of it now, so it doesn't really matter. So the salt and potatoes come into this guy, which turns it into fries, and the fries get passed up into this crafter, which is the main one again. And so then the fish is also passed up in here, and then the fish and batter with the bakeware becomes the fish sticks, and then the fish sticks and fries become our fish and chips. And as you can see, you've got 28 so far. I just now kind of finished this, so the first initial run, I only had 28 eggs. And as I mentioned before, that is the bottleneck, and that's because at the moment, if we go into this little compact machine, I don't have very many chickens in here. And, you know, oh, these guys keep spawning in here, which I think is funny. So yeah, I've been just kind of coming in here every once in a while, breeding up the chickens. You know, obviously I can't have more than 24 chickens in here, so if I ever need to, I can set up a second system like this and just pipe it into the buffer chest. Everything in this chest is getting pushed out into the tunnel here. So that's how this all works. I mean, it's pretty, it's kind of simple, right? It's once you see it and you kind of understand what's happening, it's pretty simple. It's a bit overkill, I think. In some places, like I've got tons and tons of salt. The eggs is the real problem. The eggs is the real problem. If I can think of a better way to get massive amounts of eggs, I might do that. I'm considering switching from a compact machine to just having a big old chicken farm somewhere and just collecting all the eggs, but I don't really want to do that. I'd like to keep everything for this local to the shop area, basically. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Hope you guys did enjoy the episode. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a comment down below. If you got any suggestions or fixes for some of the stuff we talked about in this episode, check out all the other members. Their links are in my description as always, as long as like we have a public Discord for the server. I've got my own Discord, my Twitter, my Mixer, stuff like that. It's all down there. So until next time, you guys, it's AZ Badfish signing out. See you later. Bye-bye.